Finally, there is a fast yeast cure for both male yeast infection and female yeast infection. The truth about Candida is that over 75% of Americans have a yeast infection. You're about to learn how yeast infections get started, a simple test to find out if you have it, what most doctors don't tell you, and how long it takes to get relief. So, what is a yeast infection? And what about the 75% of us that don't even know we have it? Well, it's basically a fight going on inside your body between good bacteria and bad. You know, the survival of the fittest thing that happens all the time in nature, and the strong just take control of the weak, and that is exactly what is happening in your body every day. To explain what yeast is, you need to understand that at birth we all had a very clean slate of sterile environment, came from our mother's womb, and this is a picture of your digestive and intestinal tract that is free of any bacteria. Then through the childbirth process and nursing, we're given the right amounts of good bacteria into our systems called lactobacillus. That began building our immune system so that we could fight off what doesn't belong. But soon after birth, the battle began. We came in contact with the bad bacteria so that now we have a good balance of the two, good bacteria versus bad bacteria, and neither takes over. That Candida really isn't a problem because the lactobacillus is there to fight it off. That happens just naturally in our digestive system, our intestinal tract, and even on our skin all the time naturally, but only as long as we have a healthy immune system. But we're usually not very old when we start interfering with that. We cause the good bacteria and the bad bacteria to get out of balance by eating lots of processed food, eating way too much sugar, and drinking chlorinated water, and we develop all sorts of unhealthy other habits that kill the good bacteria, and they start weakening our immune system. And our alkaline acid balance gets off, and we become weak and vulnerable because we have no more of the good bacteria that is inside our body to fight off the bad. If we get a cold or a yeast infection, we end up going to the doctor to get antibiotics, and along with our environment, that finishes off the job of killing the good bacteria in our system. The result of that is a perfect environment for a yeast infection. With no defense, the bad yeast grows, and because we have nothing to fight it off, it takes over, and we get what is called an overgrowth of Candida albicans called candidiasis. We come in contact with mold and bacteria everywhere in our environment, and with a weakened defense, as it grows, the Candida gives off a byproduct toxin. At first we absorb this toxin into our body and expel it, but as more and more build up, we can't handle it anymore, and that is where the symptoms of Candida often show up that we don't even recognize as Candida symptoms. Symptoms include genital and vaginal infections, irritation during intercourse, itchy rashes, bladder infections, dry and itchy scalp, acne, allergies, frequent headaches and heartburn, foggy thinking and lack of memory and difficulty concentrating, chronic fatigue, cravings for sweet, and the list goes on and on. These symptoms and many more just like them are caused when more toxins than your body can flush out start building up. And if you wonder whether or not you have symptoms like this that are related to Candida rather than some other cause, there actually is a simple test to find out if you have Candida. First thing in the morning, before you put anything else in your mouth, spit a generous amount of saliva into a clear glass of water, either filtered or mineral. And after an hour or so, check to see what the saliva has done. You do not have a Candida problem if it floats fully intact or it disappears completely. You do have a mild case of Candida if it floats and has stringy leg type things hanging from it. You do have a more severe case of Candida infection if it partially dissolves and is suspended in a cloudy specks of water, or especially if it sinks all the way to the bottom of the glass. Now this test is not 100% accurate, but it does give you a good idea whether you have Candida or not. And if you go to the doctor, often it's misdiagnosed anyway. Most doctors won't tell you, though, about Candida is that they're under an enormous amount of pressure from the pharmaceutical industry to prescribe drugs, but also that the drugs that they prescribe just cover the symptoms and they don't really treat the root cause. So they are actually only temporary treatments that the yeast often build up an immunity to because they are what is called pleomorphic. They morph into whatever it takes to survive. And many of them have lots of negative side effects. Doctors aren't trained in nutrition very much, so they usually just prescribe these drugs and expect that you're going to come back and buy more later. I'll bet you're asking, though, how long it takes to get relief. If you do it the right way, everybody is different and everybody's infection is at a different stage, but you will get noticeable relief in just 12 hours if you follow the 5-step program. But that's not the best part. The relief is not just temporary relief. You'll be getting taking the first of a few steps towards being completely and 100% free of Candida once and for all. But you need to be sure and use extreme caution if you search online for yeast infection cures, because there's tons of them out there that you should avoid. Some will give you temporary relief, but they cause the infection to get worse because they just cover the symptom. Others require you to buy into multi-level marketing memberships, and the worst yet than that is, though, you have to continue buying their high-priced products month after month or your infection just returns. Some are written by authors that have no experience or knowledge at all, and others are just plain and simple scams designed to steal your money and don't work at all. You will get with this program, it's a 5-step easy program that will give you a permanent solution that is very practical so that you can follow it easily. It's completely holistic and natural, and it's designed to help you succeed. It was developed and written through 7 years of research and personal experience from someone who's been exactly where you are. It is 234 pages of step-by-step, fact-filled information, and it's very, very easy to follow and extremely affordable. But best of all, you get professional counseling free with it for up to 3 months from the author, who is a certified nutritionist, and you get instant access so that you can download it to your computer right now and start immediately. So go right now, click on the link to the right, and if your link doesn't work for some reason, go to fastyeastcure.com, and this is definitely going to be the best decision that you've made in a long time. With this program, you're going to get lots of other valuable books and help towards getting you to have complete and final success on this, and you will get a complete and 100% satisfaction money-back guarantee, so that if you're not thrilled anytime within the first 2 months, you just notify us, and we will completely, without any questions asked, give you your money back. So you have nothing at all to lose, except your yeast infection, of course, and that you want to lose. So go right now to fastyeastcure.com and be free of your Candida once and for good. See you there.